Hello there, PES fans. I'm back with a new vidcast, and this time it's something special because this is what I've been waiting for. PES 2014 will have continuous play, and it will develop over the next PES series to create a seamless flow in the game, which will impact all of the elements in the game. Not only for for this version they have it for throw-ins, but in the next few games, maybe at goal kicks, at offsides, at free kicks. Well, yeah, free kicks we already have it, like sort of a quick restart, but even more maybe. Corners. Like, imagine what this will do for a football game. All in all, if all these situations can arise, like all the counter-attack possibility to calm down the game and just play it a little bit more defensive, just to steal some pace from the game, you know. It will be a change that will, I think, change football games. So. And there will be like depth in the tactics too, like how will your players react in certain situations? How will stamina affect how players reacted when they're not positioned in their normal places? Like, will you have to put like somebody with a less pace or less stamina, a little bit more down the field, because you don't want to have these situations where you let the opponent counter-attack on you. I mean, there's endless possibilities when this happens, when you can like start the game faster. And you also have the option, I guess, not to start the game faster and just let it become a black screen. I don't know, maybe. But the most realistic thing would be that if you didn't do anything, then the game would just move seamlessly, but at a less fast pace. Okay. So yeah, continuous play is my favorite thing. I think that it will change football games. And when it is in the game and it's incorporated, then I will have to look for another thing to wow for. And PES 14 looks really good now. I think like Masuda has introduced a lot of things in his short time at the as a producer. He came up with the ID, the ID for the players, which has made the game feel like it's more personal when it comes to the players, and it would become even more personal now. Like there's a double up of players with ID. So I mean, a double up with players of ID. Can we find like that many players that have their personal style? I mean, yes, you can, but won't you have to start like now looking at very individual players, like not even players that are really famous. I mean, there's those famous players that you can always look at and feel, okay, they are there, and now you have to like maybe look at starting 11s to put them into realistic player IDs. You know, it's so interesting. It's gonna be amazing, and probably an amazing game now. I mean, well, maybe I'm really happy about continuous play, okay, but when I saw this last movie that came out, it showed and it explained. I was thinking about one other thing. It's how Konami will teach the player to play the game. I mean, I want the training mode, and Adam, yes, I want a training mode which explains every detail of the game. It starts off with you press X when you're going to pass. You move the control to move your player. You had this in PS2 games. Now I want it back again because it can explain the whole game for people. And when you have that sort of explanation, there's no going around the fact that you can learn the whole full game from scratch, and that is the power of the game, the learning curve of the game, and how good you get is how good you are at learning that training mode that Konami put in there, the training mode that they put in there, and that will also like make certain things in the game, like too much automatic things at shooting, at passing. All these things will be like more. They won't matter because it's the skill of a player which they have learned from inside the game that will decide how good you are. Okay, it's not like, I don't think that skill should be about like having passes that take away from the stats and give a player more unfair advantage to those who learn the game probably. I mean, okay, I like to learn everything manually, okay? Everybody does not like to do that. But the fact is, and I've asked Adam this now, the fact is that they get some kind of stats, some kind of stats reducement or leaning, like the lenient treatment of the stats to get where they are, and that's true. So the skill that players have are not as good when they play manually as when they play with automatic. And I wanted to point this out because I want to know from the Konami team what is affected by the passing assistance and the shooting assistance. Which stats are affected? It's just like the normal arrows. Like if you have everything on normal, okay, everything is as it says in the stats. When you have a random form, nothing, like, you know that like if you have a red arrow, then it's like 5 plus points in some of the stats. When you have a blue arrow, then all the stats go down. So it's natural that I would like to know what kind of assistance do you get in your stats or in your play when you play with assisted settings. It's nothing more than that. It's like, okay, show it, put it on the paper and show us what is the difference. And then we have the argument that when two players play each other and they don't have the equal controls, what advantage or disadvantage does these players have against each other? Okay, so this is pretty much what I wanted to say with this podcast. This vidcast. I wanted to bring some things to attention that, well, I like, some things that I want to have explained, and I'm very much looking forward to the game, especially the physics side of the game, the way that you can build up play with have small tactics inside the tactics to like make special moves. Like maybe there's some favorite players of yours that are good at it in certain ways, and you can put this into the tactics and just build it up. Of course, one of the things that I don't like with the game is that it's there's something about the free kicks that I don't like that they can be like, you can point where you should and shoot the ball and it will get it. Okay, well, so much for this podcast. This is 10 minutes now. I've spoken passionately about the game, and I like the game as it is, as it's looking. Konami has done a good job with this. So, see you next time. Okay, bye.